Sup peeps, I'm Zephyr, and this is my reaction to Animal Secrets Zoos Don't Want You to Know by Hood Nature. Now, if you're new here, please feel free to subscribe, hit that notification bell, no pressure. If you like the video, smash that thumbs up. If you disliked it, smash that thumbs down. If you got anything to say, drop a comment down below. I've got a GoFundMe, it's linked in the description. If you could please donate, anything would help. It would be greatly appreciated, it would help build the channel. Well, with that being said, Hood Nature is one of my favourite YouTubers. Well, he's a TikToker. I don't do TikTok, so I wait for his stuff to come out on YouTube. But yeah, no, like, he's definitely one of my favourites. The way he delivers the information is both informative and absolutely hilarious. So this should be interesting. I mean, I don't know if all this is going to be new content I haven't seen, because sometimes stuff comes up that I have seen before of his, like in YouTube Shorts, for example. Like, because a lot of his videos are short videos and then he compiles them all together. So there may be a few things in there that I have seen, but this should be interesting to see what animal secrets zoos don't want you to know. Okay, let's get in with this reaction, eh?
Might not want to tell you. Zebras are one of the most responsible for injuries to zookeepers because they're wildly unpredictable and old assholes. Life can really go from zero to kicked in the chest if you're around one. And the hand-reared ones are the worst because people think they're wild horses when really they're demon donkeys that'll crack your ribs and bite off your teeth to provoke. In a place with lions, bears, and gators, your biggest op could be a pissed-off Oreo horse.
Oreo horse, oh my god.
Not only do they smell horrible, but the smell of fox pee sticks to hair, clothes, and skin.
I love foxes though.
No matter how hard or long you scrub. Getting R. Kelly by a fox is a great way to make people avoid you like the real one.
R. Kelly by a fox, oh my god.
And most dangerous puppies. White rhinos will eat out of your hand and they love being scratched, and for a 5,000-pound armored truck with legs, they have the personality of a Labrador. With ducks, you never want to have more males than females. As a rule, you need 4 to 6 males for every female, because if you don't...
Before he continues, ducks are very, I can't say the word because I don't want... I'm not monetized yet, but I would like to be one day, so I can't say the word. But yeah, ducks are very... problematic. They're very Harvey Weinstein-y. Let's just put it that way.
The males will get aggressive and jump the female. I couldn't find the TikTok, but basically she was saying a female duck lost her eye because during a particular violent session, one of the males got impatient and ripped her eyeball out. And since it usually happens in water, multiple males could possibly drown the female. If it is in water, they could break her bones. Animal secrets zookeepers might not want to tell you, part 2. Anteaters are way meaner than they get credit for, and sometimes they'll just snap and take a life for no reason. Like
I've heard about anteaters, and they T-pose to like warn you off. Like if you see a T-posing anteater, don't go to hug it. It's not offering a hug. It's not offering a hug at all. It's wanting your life.
Even jaguars are hesitant to attack.
Even jaguars, what?
Swing away from being a memory. One anteater mauled a zookeeper so badly that she had severe liver, stomach, and lung damage.
Ooh.
And she died. You watch your back if you're in his hood. Tortoises are jaw-droppingly stupid. If you leave a bucket around them, they will 100% try to make babies with it. And they'll even give the treatment to an extra curvy bowl.
I've seen that video of like that one that was humping a shoe. So, yeah.
Orangutans are pickpocketing geniuses that'll steal things of importance and only return them in exchange for food.
That's
break up the object and hand it back piece by piece in order to extort more food, which is unfortunate if they steal your phone, or even worse if they steal an animal like an opossum. It's happened. This isn't
what do you...
If you've ever seen a zookeeper...
Sorry to pause so much, but what do you mean it's happened? What do you... Stealing an opossum and then handing it back piece by piece? Like some deranged... Like, what's his name from Shinryu? That cult leader in Japan? I can't remember his name, but yeah, like, what? Orangutans are vicious. Did not realize. I don't want to pull up on one.
Ripping an enclosure, and you jokingly said something like, I wonder what animal that is. I can guarantee you that day you got silently cursed out in ways you didn't even know possible. Giraffes can seriously mess you up out of nowhere. Males fight for females by necking it.
Funny the giraffes get mentioned after like that episode of Our House where they mentioned even giraffes. Giraffes come from the Boyang Isles. I'm not surprised. They fight each other with their necks. Like, talk about giving someone neck.
It's exactly what it sounds like. Sometimes they'll take a swing at keepers not paying attention just to be a dick, and if they connect, they will send you flying. The
I can imagine.
Not nice is the day someone gets put on sea animal.
Is this an advert?
Are you there?
No, get your back, Hood Nature. Get your back.
That zookeepers might not want to tell you. Part 3. Koalas are teddy bears with the personality of a chainsaw. And if you have to carry an animal out of its enclosure,
they're also dumb.
Manhandling a crocodile. They claw, they bite, and they are dicks to other animals. Every time
and they have
up, their health insurance goes up. Aquariums will have captive breeding programs for dolphins, but since it's difficult to transport for mating, they'll use artificial insemination. Meaning someone gets paid to give Flipper a happy ending and collect baby.
Oh no!
They'll recognize whose job it is, and when they see them, they'll roll over and present themselves.
Oh
if you
no!
irritate a member of the Camelidae family, like llamas, alpacas, vicunias, and of course camels,
they'll
they
spare
don't
you.
just spit on you. Zookeepers just say it's spit so you don't totally freak out. What they actually do is regurgitate the contents of their stomach, mix it with saliva, and launch it in the face of whoever's annoying them.
What?
They'll basically projectile vomit half-eaten grass.
Oh,
they would dare you to do something
no!
Out of all the raptors, turkey vultures are one of the most affectionate. They'll form strong.
Like, out of all of them, alpacas are the cutest, and I have a soft spot for llamas because of Emperor's New Groove, and I got a soft spot for llamas because of that, and also because of I was a deviant artist years and years back, and like obviously like there's the whole llama thing on there, but I didn't know that they would like regurgitate their stomach and like spit. What? And I don't want to get on the bad side of any of them, like llamas, camels, alpacas. What was the other one? I was too shocked. Like, oh my god. And what's this? Fucking the turkey raptor. Okay.
Emotional bonds with their keepers. They'll follow their favorite around, greet them when they enter the enclosure, and even play with their socks and shoes. If you ignore the fact that they smell like an open casket in July, they're actually pretty cool. In fact, zookeepers might not want to tell you. Meerkats are the spawn of Satan, and they conduct themselves as such. If you know anyone who's ever worked with meerkats, ask them to show you the scars. I guarantee you they have them. They are, no exaggeration.
I dated someone that worked with meerkats at the college that I went to, because they had like an animal care part, and we had meerkats on campus. I don't remember having any scars from meerkats. Okay. I did not know that they were so vicious. Well, to be fair, I've never really watched Meerkat Manor. The only meerkats I really know is like from Lion King 1.5 or Lion King 3 or whatever. Dig 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 katana, quick before the hyenas come. That one. And I always thought they were cute. I always wanted one as a pet. I guess not.
The most homicidal mammals on the planet that aren't humans. If a zoo announces the death of one of their meerkats and they say it was due to natural causes, it's way more likely that one just straight up murdered another. They're also one of the worst animals for first-time zookeepers, because if nobody warns them, they'll think they're cute and cuddly and try to feed them by hand. That is exactly how you go to bed with less fingers than you woke up. Most keepers understand their animals so well that they have no problem being in the same enclosure as tigers, leopards, and bears. But there's one animal that seems to universally scare everyone. Ironically, cassowaries are shy and introverted in nature, but during breeding season, sometimes these held turkeys decide to catch a body. They are one of the most dangerously unpredictable animals you'll ever be around. Most zoos won't even let workers inside cassowary exhibits without at least 2 others keeping watch, and they often go in with an attack shield in case this Satan Tweety gets ideas.
Satan Tweety, oh my god.
In Omaha Zoo in Nebraska, zookeepers kept forgetting to lock the orangutan exhibit, and when they would get there,
how do you forget to lock the
outside? The head keeper
how do you forget to lock it?
Being careless, but after this happened several more times, he was ready to put someone on unemployment. But it turned out one of the males named Fu Manchu found a piece of wire and hid it between his lips and gums, and when nobody was looking, he used it to pick the lock of his enclosure.
What?
And then he proceeded to free all of his friends. It took zookeepers over a weekend the threat of being fired to figure it out. Cougars are the biggest pushover of any cat. They're naturally afraid of...
So let me get this straight. Orangutans are smart enough to learn to pick locks. And it almost got zookeepers fired. Like, I was gonna say, how do you forget to lock the enclosure? Like, that'd be a rookie mistake. No one's gonna forget to do that, so
people, but when comfortable, they'll seek out head scratches and belly rubs all while purring. They're basically giant house cats that can turn you into
I've heard that before.
Secret zoos might not want you to know. Every zoo has a group of animals that are so dangerous they're kill on sight, meaning if they escape their enclosure or attack somebody, zookeepers are taught to take them out immediately. And surprisingly, a lot of big cats like lions and tigers aren't KOS because they would rather tranquilize and capture them. Even silverbacks are tranquilized first, but there's one animal that's kill on sight and basically
Tranquilized first? No, my poor Harambe. Harambe wasn't tranquilized first, Harambe was just KOS'd. Like, no. Also, it was entirely the mother's fault. It was the mother's fault that Harambe went up. Like, but, yeah, no, like, I get that there are certain animals that, like, for example, a bear. I hear that if you shoot a bear, it's gonna take you out before you die. Like, I learned that from Hood Nature. But I would have thought, like, it'd be simple enough just to tranquilize, like, a lion, a puma, a leopard, or whatever, rather than just, like, boom, headshot. And that's sad. I love cats, and I love big cats.
every zoo. Chimpanzees, because not only are they homicidal maniacs and incredibly fast and strong, tranquilizers only piss them off. By the time it kicks in, they could have already chewed someone's face off. If one escapes, somebody
that's what I was on about.
It's
like,
usually the chimp. Sloths can be incredibly vicious. They look innocent, but those jaws can inflict nasty injuries on animals.
I can imagine.
Tamarin was once harassing a three-toed sloth, which everyone thought was cute, until a sloth clamped its jaws around the monkey's face. By the time keepers broke it up, the monkey had an eyeball hanging out of its socket, and the sloth was covered in blood that wasn't his. Tortoises are dicks for no reason. Sometimes if you go in their enclosure, they'll block off the exit by sitting in front of it. And since the Aldabra tortoise can be 500 pounds of stubborn, you're not going anywhere. A lot of zoos have to rent pandas for $1 million a year, and it takes another $500,000 to feed them, which doesn't even include medical and enrichment costs. It can literally single-handedly bankrupt zoos. Not once. Part 6. A lot of animals in captivity become monstrous parents because honestly, zoo animals are just worse at being animals. In the wild, a mother may reject her baby due to drought or sickness. Zoo animals can reject them purely off vibes. Zoo animals also respond way worse to stress, and when a military jet flew over a Sweden zoo, the animals got so stressed and so pressed they proceeded to tear apart and eat 23 of their babies. It's not pretty. Zoos don't buy or sell animals from each other, instead they trade like cards. For example, if you think you would like this bighorn puppy, it'd probably cost you about 20 penguins. 2 lion cubs could set you back 1 grand zebra.
So they're out here playing Pokemon trading cards
for a Burmese python, a red-tailed hawk, and a miniature pig. Most zoos are strongly against putting price tags.
How does he know this?
Except
where did he get this information?
Too expensive to trade. Animal escapes are pretty rare, but when a major one happens, everyone basically readjusts their fences and enclosures. Kind of like how in class everybody will change their answers if one kid gets it wrong. A lot of zoos had to readjust their tiger enclosure because 3 idiots decided to taunt one, and that tiger proceeded to eat itself over a wall. Can't blame the tiger though. Sometimes natural selection comes with a free meal.
Okay.
Keepers might.
That reminds me of Dartmoor Zoo. There's actually a video from about 8 or 9 years ago, where I was at Tiger Feeding Time at Dartmoor Zoo, which is the same zoo from the movie We Bought a Zoo. Even though that's based in America, but the zoo where they filmed it was actually here in England. But anyways, they've got like there's a cage bit, like a chain link fence on one side of the tiger's enclosure, and then on the other side there's like a metal railing, kind of like what it showed there just then, and like there's a gap with like water down below, and then it goes up slightly onto like the tiger like grass area. You telling me that they could probably have jumped that? You're telling me that if they wanted to, that was not safe enclosure at all? Like, it was great being able to see them like that, and not through like at the zoo in the town that I grew up in, like it was always behind like a glass or plexiglass or whatever type of like material. I don't know what material it was, but basically like it wasn't even a chain link fence, it was literally like glass rather than anything else. But you're saying that I could have been a tiger snack. Okay. Good to know. But yeah, no, I have a video. It's a very low quality. I was working off of a Samsung from like 2010. So like, yeah, it's not great quality, but I do have a video of Tiger Feeding Time at Dartmoor Zoo in my older videos.
I want to tell you, you probably shouldn't work with your favorite animal for the same reason you should share an apartment with your best friend. After 1 week, it'll change everything you thought you knew about them.
Oh yeah,
you like
definitely.
Penguins? They smell like Satan's locker and snap and bite at your shirt. Like tigers? Tiger poop is one of the worst smelling things you'll ever live through. Like elephants? Give one an enema, and I swear next day you'll work with your favorite animal, you'll have a Being a zookeeper isn't just playing with animals all day. It's incredibly difficult and ridiculously demanding. They work well over 40 hours a week and often have to sleep at zoos just so they can respond to any emergencies. You go through years of training, applications, hours of interning, all for a starting salary of about less than $30,000.
Really?
You're a different but they're so dedicated to the animals that's worth it. But if you personally know a zookeeper, tell them you appreciate them. Lord knows they don't hear it enough. Out of all the animals, the most dangerous
I don't know any, but
zookeepers
yeah.
working with the most are the ones outside the cage. No other animal causes more migraines or higher blood pressure than a hairless primate armed with an iPhone and a sense of entitlement. Most zookeepers agree if you kept the animals at bay and the people, zoos would be 10 times more fun, and I don't blame them for thinking that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Never had. But yeah, it reminds me of one time I took a photo and I posted it on Facebook, and I was like, it took a photo of these foreign students that were over just chatting between themselves, like, and now the rarest now the most dangerous exhibit in a zoo.
Zebras are one of the most.
What is this aspect ratio?
Wouldn't know it's worked as. Walruses are really talented at baiting. In fact, you could say they're master baits.
Oh.
They do it a lot. You're probably one. The walrus does as well.
Oh my God! Stop.
One, they slap themselves. They're flippers too. They're flexible enough to self-service themselves with their mouth. And if you've seen a walrus, you've probably seen one do this. Bonobos will go out of their way to wait until they have a crowd of people around them, and then start spontaneously
Bonobos are cute
in front of the audience. They do it on purpose.
Well,
I don't know
they're
why.
voyeuristic.
The more people around,
No
the
exhibitionists,
more likely
rather.
the innocence of any child watching. Tigers can't purr, so to show affection, they'll do the same slow blink that your cat does to tell you he loves you.
Aww.
Tigers share 95% of their DNA with domestic cats, which makes sense because they're basically house cats on steroids. They'll huddle with their favorite keepers, play hide and seek with them, and of course give them that famous love.
Oh, this video is going to get long because now I've got to go back because I'm having to like get rid of all these notifications that keep coming up.
Your cat does to tell you he loves you. Tigers share 95% of their DNA with domestic cats.
Really? 95%?
Because they're basically house cats on steroids.
I didn't know that.
Their favorite keepers, play hide and seek with them, and of course give them that famous love blink. Tigers are soft. A lot of animals get lonely in the winter because there's less visitors and they're used to seeing people. This usually happens with higher intelligence animals like elephants, primates, and parrots like the African gray. During COVID, one zoo brought painters into the monkey house just so the monkeys would feel less alone. One Japanese zoo asked people to FaceTime the eels just so they wouldn't forget about people. Dumbest things to ever happen at a zoo, and no, number one is not what you think it is. In 2009, a woman decided to take a flash pass to Jesus by jumping into the polar bear exhibit in a Berlin zoo. She proceeded to get mauled by 4 of the biggest carnivores on the planet.
Yeah.
At one point, zookeepers were able to pull her out of the pool, but of course she fell right back in. She also did this during the polar bear's feeding time. Apparently, she lost her teaching job and was so depressed that she decided to factory reset her life one of the worst ways possible. Zookeepers were actually seconds away from shooting the bears just to save her. Luckily, she and the polar bears lived. In 2007,
really, she lived?
San Francisco, 3 dumbasses
did not expect that.
decided to taunt Tatiana the Siberian tiger just to see what would happen. What happened was she decided to make the census 3 names lighter. Motivated by malice, Tatiana jumped over a nearly 13-foot wall and violated all 3, murking 1 and severely injuring the other 2. Was true to.
Okay. That brings me back to exactly what I was saying just a couple minutes ago about the enclosure at Dartmoor Zoo. They can jump nearly a 13-foot wall. They could have jumped like that gap. That gap was not 13 feet. That gap was probably like 10 foot. Like. I will not be going back to Dartmoor Zoo again.
It was true. If you're young and dumb, you will get paid. And after getting sued, the zoo had to pay a $900,000 stupid tax to the brothers. Number 1 isn't actually this. Because in 2012, a mother lifted her son over a railing to get a better look at the animals. He then dropped the 2-year-old into the African wild dog exhibit.
What?
He survived the fall, but not the dogs. And if you know how African wild dogs hunt prey, you know this was very bad. On top of all that, the mother sued the Pittsburgh Zoo for negligence. Yeah.
No.
Obviously, the victim here is a little boy because nobody deserves that. But
she was a negligent one.
Railing's there for a fucking reason. 3 more of the dumbest things ever.
She was the negligent one.
Number 1 will make you feel some type of way. In 2017, a man decided he didn't want to pay the price of admission to get into a zoo and instead scaled a 10-foot wall to get in. And best believe a price was paid.
Let me guess.
My man's ended up in the living room of 3 of the biggest big cats on the planet. The man was brutally mauled in front of horrified guests, and I like to think
instant karma.
His head, other than the tiger's teeth, was if it was really worth it. You can't put a price on life, but this man gambled his entire way of being over $19. Also, one of the tigers died over his stupidity. At number 2, you probably know exactly where this is going. Another dumbass who will not be named was a regular at a Netherlands zoo, and she had a habit of smiling at the gorillas and making eye contact, even though trained zookeepers told her not to. She ignored them and said that she had a special bond with the gorillas since they always smiled back.
Oh, I remember this one.
Me. I know him. He'll listen to me.
Don't smile at gorillas.
Talk about this isn't you. Yeah, she.
Don't smile. Don't show your teeth. If you show your teeth at a silverback, that's a sign of, it's a sign of intimidation. And they'll show the teeth back, and eventually they will snap.
Played pick me with a 400-pound gorilla. One day, Paquito woke up and chose Meerkats because he wasn't taking no shit. Paquito escaped, beat the woman like she stole something from him, and then broke into a restaurant. And number 1 in 1987 at Prospect Park Zoo in Brooklyn, a couple boys decided to climb into an exhibit and swim in a moat. Whose exhibit, you ask? Well, originally they planned on swimming in a sea lion pool, but somewhere along the line they decided they just didn't value their lives. They went into the polar bear.
Oh no.
What happened next was 2 900-pound murder bears proceeded to play tug-of-war with the 11-year-old's body. Police came and shot the bears, but the boy was already past tense. Did I mention this was all because of the dare? It was a tragic, senseless, avoidable death that never should have happened. May those polar bears rest in peace. As for the boy, he can rest in pieces.
Oh, great way to end it. Well, that was another great... I hadn't seen any of those clips. I mean, I knew a few bits, but no, I hadn't seen any of those particular clips that was in this compilation, so that's pretty good. But I knew a few of the facts. I didn't know many of them though. Right, so that was very informative. Less in the way he did less roasting in this one, so like more factual than comedy. But I do love learning from him, and like Hood Nature, brilliant channel, great entertainer, and very informative, very funny on some of his videos. Like I said, there's a few comedy bits here and there, but this was more of an informative one. But yeah, anyways, if you liked that video, smash that thumbs up. If you disliked it, smash that thumbs down. How many other YouTubers do you know that will tell you to smash the thumbs down? Not many. I'll wait. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe, hit that notification bell, no pressure. Let me know down below what facts you knew, what facts weren't on this that you know that most other people don't know about animals. Drop a comment down below. Just a friendly reminder, I've got a GoFundMe. It will be linked in the description down below. If you could please donate, anything would help, and it would be greatly appreciated to help build this channel up. Namaste and peace out.